Sentence making with meanwhile word. Meanwhile means in the period of time between two events, or while an event is happening. The sun was setting, meanwhile, the moon was rising. The sun was setting, meanwhile, the moon was rising. The cat was sleeping, meanwhile, the dog was barking. The cat was sleeping, meanwhile, the dog was barking. I am playing music, meanwhile, you can dance along. I am playing music, meanwhile, you can dance along. You can have a snack, meanwhile I'll wash the dishes. You can have a snack, meanwhile I'll wash the dishes. I am cooking dinner, meanwhile, you can set the table. I am cooking dinner, meanwhile, you can set the table. I am baking cookies, meanwhile, you can decorate them. I am baking cookies, meanwhile, you can decorate them. You can watch a movie, meanwhile I'll fold the clothes. You can watch a movie, meanwhile I'll fold the clothes. I am playing a game, meanwhile, you can watch and learn. I am playing a game, meanwhile, you can watch and learn. The lion was roaring, meanwhile, the monkey was swinging. The lion was roaring, meanwhile, the monkey was swinging. I am watering the plants, meanwhile, you can feed the dog. I am watering the plants, meanwhile, you can feed the dog. The moon was shining, meanwhile, the stars were twinkling. The moon was shining, meanwhile, the stars were twinkling. The wind was blowing, meanwhile, the leaves were rustling. The wind was blowing, meanwhile, the leaves were rustling. The snow was falling, meanwhile, the children were playing. The snow was falling, meanwhile, the children were playing. The flowers were blooming, meanwhile, the bees were buzzing. The flowers were blooming, meanwhile, the bees were buzzing. The bird was flying, meanwhile, the butterfly was fluttering. The bird was flying, meanwhile, the butterfly was fluttering. I am playing the piano, meanwhile, my sister is singing. I am playing the piano, meanwhile, my sister is singing. The teacher was talking, meanwhile, the students were listening. The teacher was talking, meanwhile, the students were listening. To watch more videos, subscribe our Pep English channel.